Duchess Sophie and Prince Edward travel overseas after family reunion at Balmoral. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh's return to their royal duties is off to an exciting start. After spending time with Prince Edward's brother, King Charles, at Balmoral over the summer, the couple have headed to the Paris 2024 Paralympics to show their support for British athletes. Edward and Sophie flew from London's Heathrow Airport on Wednesday morning to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, where they were met by His Majesty's ambassador to the French Republic, Her Excellency Dame Menna Rawlings. Welcome to Royal Pancakes. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell, so you don't miss any news about the British monarchy. Menna later shared a photograph with the royals on X, formerly known as Twitter, showing Sophie wearing a navy blazer over a blue and white floral midi dress with white trainers, while her husband Edward donned a navy jacket over a blue checked shirt with grey trousers. Delighted to welcome the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh to France for the at Paris 2024 #Paralympic Games. Their Royal Highnesses will be supporting at Paralympics as patrons of #British Paralympic Association, at British Cycling and at hockey, Menna wrote. The Duke and Duchess joined the ambassador in the stands at the wheelchair fencing event, where they supported fencer Oliver Lamb-Watson. Edward and Sophie also visited athletes at the Paralympic Village, according to the court circular. Joining the royal couple on their trip is their private secretary, Brigadier Alexander Potts, and Assistant Private Secretary, Jason Keane. The Duke and Duchess' daughter, Lady Louise Windsor, 20, is set to return to St Andrews University for the third year of her English degree in the coming weeks, while their son, James, Earl of Wessex, is likely to have started studying for his A-levels. James, 16, received his GCSE exam results last month, but Buckingham Palace did not share his grades. Lady Louise and James are not expected to carry out royal duties in future. Sophie's appearance at the Paralympics comes just weeks after she also attended the Paris 2024 Olympics, where she was seen celebrating Team GB's, female cyclists winning their first gold medal at the Bercy Arena. Sophie Rhys-Jones, a London PR executive, was just 22 when she first locked eyes with her royal beau, though it wasn't until several years later that their romance bloomed. In a chance meeting in 1993 at the Prince's Real Tennis Challenge event, Prince Edward is said to have secretly slipped Sophie his number. 6 years into their love story, the late Queen's son proposed with a £105,000 engagement ring, and the rest is history. Duchess Sophie's post-engagement glow was evident in 1999. Rewind to the day after she got engaged. It was business as usual for the hard-working cool girl who was seen commuting to her office job in London's ritzy Mayfair. Prince Edward's bride-to-be looked effortlessly chic in a fitted trouser suit in a creamy green hue. She accessorized with a crisp V-neck blouse and added a delicate floral brooch to the lapel of her jacket. Giving her daytime look a luxe feel, the royal-to-be teamed her corporate get-up with leather-heeled boots, adding a waist-cinching black belt and dainty pearl earrings. Proving a power suit never goes out of style, Sophie's sage trouser suit look can be seen on all of London's it girls today. A few days later, the Duchess was seen rocking yet another power suit, layering with a chic oversized black coat. Her golden blonde choppy cut was a product of its time, with the late Princess Diana making the feathered pixie crop a millennial must-have. The Duchess of Edinburgh formally told Hello during an online event with the British Fashion Council that her own personal style icons blend both Hollywood and actual royalty. When asked whose style she most admires, she said, "Angelina Jolie, I always think she looks amazing, and also Queen Rania of Jordan always looks stunning." She added of British royal style in general, Britain is an island, albeit a big island, and if you look at what royal women have worn over generations, they have made huge fashion statements reflected from foreign shores, and that's what helps make our style. The Duchess and her older brother David grew up in a 4-bedroom 17th-century farmhouse, and Sophie was educated first at Dulwich Preparatory School, then at Kent College, and finally at West Kent College, where she trained as a secretary. Pictured here at Ascot Charity Race Day in 1995, Sophie Rhys-Jones never dreamed she'd one day be a member of Britain's royal family, and decided to pursue a very unroyal career after finishing her studies. After leaving college, Sophie went into public relations and worked at major firms like Capital Radio, as well as PR companies like the Quentin Bell Organisation and McLaurin Communications and Media. Not content with a London office job, she explored career opportunities abroad as well, travelling to Switzerland where she worked as a ski representative, and even spending a year working and travelling in Australia. By 1996, she'd established herself in the public relations industry and decided to start her own agency, RDH Public Relations, which she ran for 5 years with a business partner. Sophie might have continued with it, if not for a chance meeting with her very own Prince Charming. In 1987, Sophie caught the eye of Prince Edward, the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, for the first time. Back then she was working at Capital Radio, and he was dating one of her friends, so nothing came of it. That is, until the pair crossed paths again in 1993. That time Sophie was working at a promotional photo shoot for his Summer Challenge charity fundraiser, and Edward was single. Sparks flew. Soon after they were an item, but Edward worked hard to keep his new romance on the down low at first. Edward knew Sophie would be caught up in a media circus the moment their romance was made public, especially if the press knew how serious he was about her. In December 1993 he wrote to British newspaper editors denying rumours that he planned to marry Sophie, a move that was practically unheard of from such a senior royal at the time. Edward asked the media for privacy both for himself and for Sophie, who did her best to continue life as usual while also dating one of the most recognisable men in the country. Royal author Ingrid Seward, who wrote Prince Edward, claimed the couple almost split when Edward got cold feet a year into their romance, after realising it was a serious relationship that could lead to marriage. Thankfully, they stayed together. Edward finally popped the question in December 1998, while he and Sophie were holidaying in the Bahamas, and announced their engagement on January 6, 1999. It's believed that Queen Elizabeth II was already very fond of Sophie, so she was more than happy to give Edward permission to marry her. Their engagement announcement took place on grounds of St. James's Palace, where reporters got their first glimpse of Sophie's stunning 18-carat white gold engagement ring. The sparkling Garrard and Company piece featured a 2-carat oval diamond flanked by 2 heart-shaped gemstones and reportedly cost Edward £105,000, approximately $200,000 Australian dollars.